You're welcome back. You're still watching Simply Showbiz right here on TV3, and we're celebrating everything GH. The hashtag on our social media platforms is hashtag we celebrate GH. So if you wear any gorgeous looking African print and you want us to know that, yeah, you're repping Ghana, you can take a photo and use the hashtag we celebrate GH. We'll be acknowledging you on our social media platforms. So we're actually also streaming live on Facebook. Now, we're having our conversation on the back of celebrating all things Ghana, preserving the Highlife legacy. Now, joining me to have this conversation is Highlife music legend, Smart Nkanta. Ben Braco, who's also a Highlife musician legend or music legend, will also join us via Zoom. Now, Smart Nkanta is an accomplished guitarist and musician. He is or was the leader of Sweet Talk's band, one of the vibrant bands, you know, to ever grace the local music scenes, and he has accomplished a lot with the band. You just heard a song of his, you know, play over there. Smart Nkanta, you're welcome. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm fine.
I like the way you're repping Ghana all through.
We have entered
the month. Yeah. It's good to finally have you join us. I've heard a lot about you, but I have not met you before. I do.
Because you mentioned only Sweet Talks.
That's because it's the intro.
Oh,
yes,
fine.
that's
Thank
the
you.
intro.
Thank
So
you.
because we know you have done a lot, so that's just the intro. And we also know that you led the Sum Sum band as well. And you know the song that just played, okay? Yeah. Do you remember, you know, how that song came about for you?
Well, there was a time, I think during Kufo regime, women started missing. Did you hear that?
I don't think
women
I
started
remember
got
that
missing.
story.
They were killing women. Women got missing.
Okay.
So that's why I did a song that someone somewhere knew who was doing that.
Who's doing that?
But the person was scared that if he voiced out, maybe there will be trouble. So that's why I said in some Shadaka. But at the end of the day, the judgment day, you pay for it.
Pay for it. Wow. You have been in the system or in the scene, on the scene, music scene for a very long time now. When we look back, we see music from you and the band that you've worked with over the period. How was music back then? How would you describe doing music in that era and how the music scene is at the moment? How would you describe that?
You know, in this country or in the world, there's a proverb say, "Gone are the good old days." So, gone are the good old days. At those time, we were really enjoying the music, but now it's when the computer system or the technology changed, everything changes.
What do you think was that thing that made you enjoy the music more back then?
Because we were doing more live.
Okay, live
everything. If you go to studio, you perform as if you are on the stage. So every mistake that you do, but this time it's a computer. So if you made a mistake, you just go back and delete what you made. So performing live, sometimes some of them can't even perform live well. Now they are trying, but sometimes they find it difficult because what the machine can do, man cannot do. So if you let the machine do it for you, and you have to do it yourself live, you find it difficult sometimes.
Right.
So when they are playing live, you don't get the feel as you did the live recording.
Okay. Would you be able to touch on some of the challenges that, you know, you were facing in the industry back then? That is, if there were any challenges.
Oh, the challenges was that, you know, in those days, it's difficult to have your own instruments.
Okay.
Someone will buy the instruments and employ you to as his or her worker so that you play the band and he pays you.
Okay.
You don't have you go to rehearsals, you rehearse and you leave the instruments and you go home the next time. But nowadays, thank God that a lot of musicians have their own equipment. And so I can say I learned to play music in church. So during that time, we compiled gospel songs or praises, and we named it Spiritual Ghana. And that album won the best-selling album at that time. We won gold disc but the proprietor of the band, because he employed us, he took the gold.
Took the gold. Oh.
So there's nothing that I can show that this is the award that we won. But now things has changed. The musicians, they have their own instruments. That is good. Yeah.
Okay. Now, a lot of people have been asking questions about how long it should take for, you know, an artist to create music. Some people believe that, you know, the longer, you know, you spend time with it, the probability of it being a good song or being a hit is higher than, you know, some people go to the studio, spend 2 weeks or sometimes less to come up with a song. You being in the game for this long, what do you think of you know, such comments?
All right, we have talent. If you have the talent and you are God-given talent, it's easy. But if you say that I want to be a musician and you start to learn, sometimes you find it difficult to do. You know, it's all about talent. Sometimes you say that no, I want to do it this way, but you end up that even the guide track, at the end of the day, becomes the hit. Let's take, for instance, Adam and Eve. When we recorded Adam and Eve, what came out as the song was a guide track that A.B. Kensi did. You see? So it's very, you don't know which one. Sometimes someone will release an album thinking that this is going to be a hit track. And the one that you don't trust to be a hit track will become a hit track.
Right.
But if you are making music, the only problem is that you have to take time.
Okay.
You go back, you listen to it, you come back to make corrections. You go back, but sometimes because of money, because paying the studio is very expensive. So some musicians will say, "Oh, let's go. It's okay." But you have to take time. But if you own a studio, then you are dead, because you will never be satisfied.
Okay. Because
you have the opportunity to change it anytime you want. Yeah.
Right. Now, I want us to go back a little. You know, we're still educating ourselves about Highlife, that is the younger generation. Yes. You have been, I will always be referring to the fact that you've been in the game for a while. Yeah. How would you describe Highlife back then and Highlife now?
There is, it's far different.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
And because of the generation, you know, when time moves, things change. It's not only Highlife, but if you go back to reggae music, then it moves from root rock music, then it came to raga, and then hip hop, whatever it is. But Highlife music, before we had Highlife music, and we have guitar band music and dance band music.
Okay.
So the guitar band music, dance band music is the one that they use wind instruments.
All right.
But people have been telling stories about how our music became Highlife, or is called Highlife. Everyone has his or her explanation, but to my knowledge, Highlife or Ghana music, before the Western instruments came in, our forefathers were using drumming and dancing for our music. Yeah. When you go to the villages during festivals, you see that they play
a lot of drums
and dance. There is no Western instruments. So when they were doing that, when the Western instruments came, the guitar, for instance, started. They brought the guitar from the white men. When they brought that, they were using their guitar and the wind instrument, but they invited some of the musicians from outside. Okay. At that time, if those who were educated, they were moving with them, and then they called them that we have high society, or high class, middle class, and low class in the life. Yeah. So they are living high life. The high life. That's why they call it. They call them. They are living with the white men. So they said this is the high life. So the music that they were doing at that time using wind instruments is called Highlife.
Okay. Okay.
So, and then the other one that they use only acoustic guitar, and when you learn the music, they call it palm wine guitar. You see the acoustic guitar, their friend has it here. They call it palm wine guitar because at that time if you're a guitarist, you go to where they sell palm wine. You just play and they will be buying for you free.
Right.
So you spend money to buy a drink. So they started calling it. But if you go to palm wine, where they say palm wine, that you can hear. So they say palm wine guitar,
okay.
palm wine guitar. And then when they started forming band, they used that one. And they say like guitar band music. So in those days, in GBC1, there's a time for guitar band music.
Okay.
And there is a time for dance band music.
Right.
Okay. Right. So if you are in the high society, that's where you play high. It was myself.
Okay.
That married the guitar band music and dance band music.
Okay. Before you continue, with this history that you've given or this background, a lot of people believe that one of the reasons we are not able to preserve, our high life legacy is the fact that we don't archive these informations. We don't have documentation of, these happenings. Would you agree? Yeah,
there was.
Okay.
Before there was, because Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, the GTV,
yes,
was in those days that we go. There was a entertainment like how we are doing now.
Right.
They have it, but I learned there was a fire outbreak and everything got burned.
Okay,
that's happened because it pains me because we have done a lot that we need it now, but we can't find it.
If you're just joining us, you're watching Simply Showbiz right here on TV3 now, interacting with Smart in Cancer. He's giving us some amazing history right here. That is actually the purpose of why we are always advocating for celebrating everything Ghana, celebrating more Ghanaian stuff in the month of March and also beyond. Hopefully, we're keeping our fingers crossed on that front. And joining me as well is Kumi Guitar. And that's okay. We still need to find more sides to that particular song right now. And we've also have Ben Braku joining us via Zoom. I mentioned earlier that we'll be interacting with him via Zoom. Now that we have him, we'll get Kumi Guitar to join in the conversation. But before that, let's talk to Ben Braku. Hello, Uncle Ben, can you hear me?
Oh, loud and clear.
Yes, so it's good morning from my side. I don't know about you. Is it good morning there?
Yeah, it's like 6:30.
Okay, so it's still good morning, right? It's good to finally have you join us. I like your new look. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, this is the only life you have. So whatever you want to do, you do it, Yeah, I think that it's just another way of expressing myself.
I see. Well, we like how you're looking. If you're happy, we're also happy. We like this. Uncle Ben, yes. Uncle Ben, we would want you to talk a little bit about high life music for you back then and how you think high life music is at the moment.
Yeah, well, I think that it used to be more predominant, high life music, because it was the only music. Like your earlier guest was saying, there were various brands of high life music. The guitar, the palm wine, guitar, high life music, and then there was the big band. The big band is actually what gave it the name high life because it became the preferred music for the elites, Ghanaian elites who were mixing with the colonialists, the British guys. Okay, so they said it was high life because it was only people who were leading the high life, who subscribed to that kind of music. So that's how I think the name came about.
Okay.
But it was much more predominant. But of course, we've had other types of music come in, and one of the things that I think is important to notice that music is dynamic.
Right.
It doesn't stay the same. It always evolves, okay? And sometimes it goes too far one way, and then then it retracts and comes back to its origin or its mother, and then it changes in other ways depending on other influences from all over the world. So music is dynamic and is bound to change, but I think maybe we went a bit too far with the hip hop, but I think that it's coming back, because when hip hop changed to hip life, that was our music coming back home. So it became the high life rhythm with rapping on it. You understand? So I think that lots of our artists are now doing high life. It's a slightly different hue, but I think it's all good, Okay. It's all part of the creative process.
Right. But Uncle Ben, do you think that high life has been celebrated well enough, considering that is what our identity is meant to be? When, we're describing high life as a genre, we Ghanaians embrace it. We're told that is our own. Do you think it's been celebrated enough?
Hardly. No, it's not been celebrated enough. The thing is that we are living under circumstances which are not right, which are artificial, and we don't even celebrate our culture enough. I've noticed on TV3 that just because it's like the Independence Day coming, they were dressed so beautifully in their fratam stuff. Yeah. The ladies were all dressed so nicely. I said, wow, you can do this. Why do you keep it so? It's like you keep your culture and you wheel it out on occasions. Culture is a living thing. If you're not living it, you start losing it. You understand? So, we have a lot of issues to deal with, and part of it is our music. We live in Ghana. High life is our music, and yet high life as a music genre is classified equally with all other music, with reggae, with any type of music, and that is not right. Every country, when you go there, you find that they prioritize their popular music. Okay, right. That emanates from them, and it's important that we do the same. It's important that we take our arts seriously, because they sell us as a country and they portray us beautifully to the world. And we have Highlife, which is like one of the most beautiful types of music in the whole world, and we're not doing anything with it. Like, we're wasting a lot of our stuff because we look down on what is ours and look out for foreign things and celebrate them.
Okay, I also want to know how you, in your opinion, you think we can preserve our high life legacy?
Well, it has to be considered, a national asset. Okay, music can bring in so much revenue. If it's revenue that you think about, but apart from revenue, it sells the culture. It sells the people and their heritage, and it makes people feel and appreciate you as a person, as a human being. Okay, I remember one time the Beatles were knighted because they brought so much revenue to the United Kingdom. Look at Nigeria now. We used to know them as the 419 country. Now they are the music country. Because they've invested in it, they believe in themselves, and they put the right things in place. In Ghana, we only pay lip service. It's about time we change and put the emphasis on the right things, because our culture is everything. Without culture, it's like you're nobody. You're just following other things, other people, as if you don't come from anywhere.
Okay, so Uncle Ben, we'll come back to you shortly, but please hold on for us. Kumi, you're welcome.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you earlier, but that's for another day. I didn't say that one out loud, but you're welcome one more time. We're talking about high life and how to, preserve this legacy of ours. You are into this genre. You are a younger, artist in this space, but you're very vocal when it comes to everything high life. would you say it's been giving more attention?
No, like my elders rightfully said, there's a lot to be done, and I personally feel that it doesn't come from the individuals only. It has to be, like Mr. Ben said, a national thing.
Okay.
Authorities where the music industry is under a certain ministry, and then we should make sure we the way we do for football, whether they win the cup or not, we still invest in them. Same way should be done to music. Highlife, precisely, because it's an export as well.
Okay.
If we're presenting it well, we can make revenue out of it. Once upon a time, I stand to be corrected though, if Nkrumah is traveling, he goes with a band. And it's a way of, projecting your culture. And that's what we have failed to do these days.
Right.
Highlife is something that belongs to us. It's something that, it's our heritage. It's what defines us musically. Other countries have their own music and they promote it. If you go to these app stores, like these music stores on
streaming platforms,
there's no Highlife, category. But you can find Afro and other things there.
So what would you, a lot of people also believe that, Highlife has, in a way build up to be Afrobeat.
No.
It isn't.
I don't fall for such.
So how would you, because that's the conversation around.
Personally, Afro was born out of Highlife. There's one man called Fela, I stand to be corrected. That's what I know.
Kuti.
Yes. Who came here, studied it, and then went back and tried to form it in a way and named it Afro beats, Afro music. So that is a genre on its own.
And on
now,
its own.
We have Highlife. Why do we say it has changed into that? And now we go after Afro and we leave the Highlife.
People believe that music, it's evolving, and so.
Have you heard of hip hop?
Yes, I have heard of hip hop.
Has it evolved into blues, or blues hip hop, or cruise hip hop? You see, originality is what we are lacking here. If we are able to make, listen, we can even play anything, but we should make the elements of Highlife be present in the music. In the music. That's what defines what you're doing. You understand? So if I'm having my my rhythms in there, which is defining the music, I'm good to go.
Okay.
You understand? It has no language barrier, but yet we still need to make sure our language is also inculcated there, because it's also export.
Right.
No Chinese man would want to do anything from his side and we're trying to speak maybe other languages.
Okay.
And so even our own Nigerians, when they are singing, you feel that they are Nigerians. You don't feel that they are any other people. In their tone, in their dialect, like they'll try fusing a way you know that this person is from this side. But with us, we're either copying or we want to be like this person, and we have left ours. Okay. You understand? Yeah. These things should be taught. These things should be taught. Personally, I feel to preserve it even more, it should start from the secondary schools, primary schools, so the kids grow up loving it.
I see.
There should be a curriculum, like you want to learn how to play the guitar. They're teaching you about Highlife rhythms. So whilst growing up, you have that thing in you.
Okay, so you believe that. Let me ask Uncle Smart on this one. Do you believe that with the how, we're looking at legislation as well, like a body or an authority has to make some laws to ensure that?
That's how it's worked everywhere.
But it doesn't seem like we have one here.
Because we don't cherish it. That's our problem.
You see, all this started when the number of radio stations were increased.
Oh.
And as a student, they always, when they during their holidays, they don't really want to speak their native language. They start to behave like they are. And when that started, when they finished school, some of them became media and then DJs and all this. So when they go there, they started playing foreign music. Oh. So they play that foreign music more than the local music.
Local music.
And before we realized, someone, what do you call this guy name, came out that Reggie Roston.
Okay,
Roston.
Reggie,
yeah. He came out with Western rhythm, singing.
But Uncle Smart, how do you think we can fix this problem of ours?
Okay. Well, I think that all of us, it's not to do with one person. We need the media, because if we stop playing this kind of music and start to play the high life music, it will come back.
Okay.
All right. So now, everybody, I'm happy my brother was saying that Ghanaians, they start to copy Nigerians and that. How can we have not even when is the Ghana Music Festival, and then we don't have high life column until they shout before they bring. They say, what do you call their present music? Is it
Afro?
No, not Afro. They have during the
dance
music and dance hall and name them.
Okay, so the other genres is the concern you
yes.
have. Okay.
Yeah, but we have to make sure that we go back. If not, we are playing it like how it was. We have to advance it. Go through the whole country. Every tribe has its own rhythm. So now I'm preparing myself somewhere, and we are coming back to steer the Ghana music into the mainstream.
Okay.
Because we have to do that. Otherwise, things are getting out of hand.
Okay, I understand you have a project known as the Highlife project. We'll touch on that when we come back. You're still watching Simply Showbiz. We're talking about preserving the Highlife legacy. We have Ben Bracco also joining us via Zoom. We'll be interacting with him some. We've got Kumi Guitar here as well. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
By all means. Ghana Wajin, I love from Commander AD. Smart and cancer, Papa, back Queen Fire. I love what guitar, Ubedo. I love you, any day you are Ghana. I love you, any day you are Ghana. So, and when you Simply Showbiz, I know. Present a new for year, obey simply sitter. I can taste you, I was your baby, I phone come on. She like the idea. Women so, I love your melody, women so. I am a dear.
Alright, so yes, you're still watching Simply Showbiz right here on TV3. Yeah, listen, and they just came up with, this in this split second. That tells you how talented, how creative they are. And definitely we have something to celebrate here as a country. High life music. Now, Ben Bracco still joining us via Zoom. You're still watching Simply Showbiz, by the way, if you're just tuning in. Now, we'll also find out from him briefly what he makes of, the calls for legislation when it comes to, high life and the genre in itself. Because a lot of people are still asking how to preserve it, because when we are calling for, let's play more music, let's educate people on that, will we leave it at that? Uncle Ben, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. I didn't know you were addressing me. Sorry, can you say that again?
I wanted to know, moving forward, when you're talking about legislation, okay, what are we looking at specifically? And also, how do we intend to preserve the legacy in general? Because we can't keep having the same conversation every other time. So what do you think we can do?
Well, in the first place, we have to know that we are Ghanaians, and we are traditional people, okay? And that has to be the main focus of everything we do. Because when you talk about a culture, you're talking about a living thing, the way you do things in your life, the way your heritage has shown you. So if we have to go and legislate about the music, then we're doing something wrong. You understand? That means that the whole system that we are operating is false. Okay? And it is therefore it is not serving us. Highlife is something. It's a living thing. You know, as Africans and as Ghanaians especially, you know, we are people that we live our culture. You know, in our religion, and I'm talking about real traditional religion. In our singing, in our everything. You know, even when we're working, we're doing it. You know, you go to the fisher folks, you go to the farmers, they're singing as they're working. So it's part of our life. It's not something you go and hide in the bushes or in an institution somewhere, and then you bring out once in a while and say that this is culture. No, it's not.
Okay.
We have to actually live and govern and run our things based on our heritage, based on our culture. That is what the people know and understand. Okay?
All right.
It's like saying that you have to legislate chieftaincy. You know, it's a nonsense.
All right.
Yeah,
Uncle Smart.
Yeah, I think that now we have to, if possible, we have to let the government step in, because we have to give a limit of the airplays that they play on our television and radios, that they should concentrate on the local music more than the foreign music, and that will also help.
What's the percentage that you're looking at? Because some people have called for 80% Ghanaian music, 20% foreign music, whatever genre it is.
I support that.
You support that.
You support that.
Okay.
You know, that's why that's the reason why I'm going to do that project. You said you're fed up.
Yes, let's talk about that project briefly.
You see, as I said earlier on, we have different kinds of rhythms throughout the country. Every tribe has its own rhythms. So we're compiling the rhythms together and then invite the good musicians, good composers, good arrangers, and then we'll bring out an album.
Okay.
And the album, we'll find out if this track suits this artist. Let's take Kwame Eugene. This suits Kwame Eugene. Kwame Eugene will take lead on that album. It's not going to be one man album, not about me, but about changing the whole Highlife system. We have to have something to present on the world market, and this is the Ghana Highlife.
Okay.
So at the moment, they are at the limelight. So we are going to use them to do the first phase of that, while grooming the youth.
The youth, okay.
And we can't do it without the media. So the media also have to give more airplay. And if music is not even sweet, as soon as you keep on playing, then you like it. So we have to involve the media. So it should be like I was at Unia TV and I brought this idea and said then it should be national agenda. Yes. It's supposed to be national agenda.
Okay.
Not one musician, all of us should
come on board and make sure that it happens.
But you know the problem.
Okay.
Musicians are fighting themselves, insulting themselves.
We will get to that part of the conversation some other time. But Kumi, you are an amazing talent. Has quitting music ever occurred to you?
Coaching.
Quitting. Yes.
Oh yes, it has.
Why?
Yes, it has. Because the structures are not really in place. I'm supposed to get that and that and that, and it's not coming through.
When you say that and that and that,
like royalties.
Have you registered with GAMRO?
Yes, I have.
You have?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and when we mention GAMRO, I've heard a lot of people like throw tantrums or go against them, but I feel they're even trying. But the system, the login systems and everything are not in place. So what they are even doing is they are trying to get something. If it was left with me, I would say that like my father is saying, let there be a national. If there is a national agenda on these things, these logging things will be on every station.
Do you still want to quit?
No, not.
Now you've changed your mind. What happened? Can you tell us that briefly? What happened?
Well, humans, I feel like, I don't know about you, but where you said sometimes you feel like you can even do better, or you're not given what is due you, but how much you're putting in. So you feel that, can I try this thing else?
Okay.
And that's how I don't know about others, but I feel humans go through that that stage at a point in time.
That's very true. You can change your mind at any point in time.
As for that,
all right. Thank you so much. Uncle Ben Brackle, your final comments on this one, please. Preserving our legacy, final comments.
Well, I think that we have to begin to be true to ourselves, okay? Not only in our private lives, but as a whole society, as a system. You see, like I was saying before, if you have to wait for Independence Day to dress in your traditional garb, then there's something wrong.
Right. Okay.
You know, you have all these beautiful clothes and everything, and you keep them, and you have to dress in a suit. Can you imagine how the beauty of our clothing, and yet we prefer to wear tuxedos to run our businesses? What kind of nonsense is that? You know?
Okay, sure. Thank you so much, Ben Brackle, for speaking to us. He's a Highlife music legend. Now, yes, exactly. That's what we're coming to you now. Tell us about your song and introduce your song to
I have
us.
a patriotic song that I've made for Ghana, and they have it.
So we'll play it.
Track. Let them play in our mind.
You
and I
mind.
want all Ghanaians to listen.
Okay, and thank you to Kumi Guitar as well for passing through. Please do not quit music. We love you so much. Don't quit music. And before I go, a massive shout out going out to Millie K Garment in Dakuman for my outfit. You can call her on 026-228-9928. You can also find her on Instagram, Millie_K_Garment. My name is Akofa on Twitter, and on Instagram it's @IamAkofa_. So we'll play the music, the patriotic song, and then Uncle Smart and Cancer will mime to it. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. We're celebrating Ghana. Hashtag we celebrate GH.
Ghana my ago, hey, amen. Yes, ago, hey, amen. Yami before you crazy, mami, oh, something fancy. Yami before you crazy, as a man say, baby, mama, something white. Yami before you crazy, mami, oh, something fancy. Yami before you crazy, as a man say, baby, mama, something white. Ghana, Muntie, 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 Ghana, Muntie, 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 Ghana, my Muntie, 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 Ghana, my Muntie, 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 Muntie. I don't know if me can't tell me say, oh, what's asino, oh, chicha asino, Yamisi one year, Bonnie Gra, oh, my gold. Oh my diamond,